Good morning and welcome to Frontiers of Knowledge segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Basically, human needs are limited to three: food, housing, clothing. But closely allied with that, the major concern of all the world over is Medicare treatment. And this being so, the longevity of life, the quality of life depends on utilizing the latest medical technology. As a matter of fact, if we look at the medical science development, we find there has been a breakthrough. And the people right from the times immemorial have been dealing with Medicare. So let's see what is the latest in that. Griffith University people have developed nanobeads which are magnetized, and they're so small that you can't believe you can't see them, as a matter of fact. And these nanobeads, which are magnetized, are used to detect cancer. These biomarkers, once injected into body, diagnose early stage disease, thereby making the treatment either very easy or not required at all. Because once you detect the very early signs, which now go undetected, then it's very easy to take proper medication. And this center of cell factories and biopolymers, the Griffith Institute of Drug Discovery, they have found this very inexpensive but very sensitive way of detecting various diseases, including ovarian cancer. And they have developed a new class of paramagnetic nanoparticles. These bioengineered cell factories assemble nanobeads which bind to the specific target antibodies. And then the magnetized nanobeads are added to ovarian cancer cells to capture DNA and chromosomes, as well as with exosomes to detect cancer. According to Professor Shideki, these nanomaterials can be engineered according to the need for detecting a certain disease type. As I said, it can be ovarian cancer, it can be cancer of any size, it can be leprosy, it can be, in fact, any autoimmune disease can be detected by this. This is basically a major breakthrough and can hold hope for millions of people. But then nanotechnology is not confined to the early detection and treatment of cancer or other autoimmune diseases. Tiny nano-sized robots and vehicles have been found suitable for navigating through the blood vessels. Now, veins and arteries are too small, you cannot navigate through them. So, these nano-sized robots are injected into the body, intravenous injections. They travel through the veins and the arteries and reach the site of a disease and deliver drugs so that all the tumors that are difficult to be treated can be treated. Now, once injected and swallowed, these nano beads and nano sized robots rely on the movement of the body fluids to find their way in the body. It means that some types of diseases, which are very difficult to treat effectively, can be treated. And the most important is that a brain tumor known as glioblastoma, for example, which kills hundreds and thousands of the people every year, now can be treated. As a matter of fact, they say that the nano devices, tiny robots, and vehicles to deliver drugs in the body in a controllable way would be ideal because A, it will be non invasive, all the injectors in the body. B, it would have no side effects. 99% of the medications sold in the pharmacies have side effects. You take statin to control blood pressure, yes, and your cholesterol, and the result is your muscles are destroyed. And these nanoparticles are 10 times smaller than the red blood cells. And if you use the passive particles, then it's still better because then they are in the body and they are passive. They become active as and when needed. So they're the sleeping tigers, so to say. So a new project has come up which is called sonobots. They are using ultrasound to manipulate these nanorobots that carry the cancer and autoimmune diseases killing drugs. It's used typically by the doctors in medical imaging due to the way the high frequency sound waves bounce off the different parts of the body to create an image. Then come the nanoswimmers, and these are the drug carrying nanoparticles which move in the body and keep a track. They are like the cops, policemen on the patrol. They're just watching that everybody is following the rules. So these nano swimmers keep you moving in the body. And whenever they find any sign of disease, they become active. They deliver drugs immediately to specific locations of the body and help to tackle common but deadly diseases. Professor Salvador Penny at NG project said that the greater number of stroke patients now can be treated because stroke happens all of a sudden. But the nanoswimmers, which are in the body, would immediately detect that the stroke is imminent and they'll take corrective action. The blood clot would be cut off, the flow of the blood to the brain would be maintained. And they say in the European Union alone at present, every year 1.1 million people suffer from strokes. So the suffering of these people would be reduced. And then, they are doing much more. As a matter of fact, industrial robots used in computer controlled arm are now moving in the body. It's like, the arm outside what they call it. You heard that. The Canadians had manufactured the space arm for the space station. So this is biodegradable iron-based polymer, which is in the body, is like a traffic signal. The moment some infection comes in, it signals, and those swimmers immediately come rushing to arrest that. And voila, the person is right. Can you believe anything better? And then, we want to have longer life, even when we sacrifice the quality of life. But Israeli has now discovered a protein which boosts life expectancy by 30%. As a matter of fact, 30% life expectancy by a protein called 36. This was reported in the journal Nature Communication. And these protein materials are able to overcome age-related diseases such as blood disorders, dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and cancer. And not only that, according to Professor Haim Cohen at Ilan University in Israel, they are trying to regulate biological processes such as obesity, insulin resistance, and aging so that the protein can work effectively and increase your life expectancy by 30%. And then comes a very, very shocking news. FDA has approved 78 sunscreen products, and we living in Canada or in America are very fond of applying sunscreens. They say sunscreens are important to protect you from the skin cancer. But a testing has been done and it has been found that these 78 sunscreen products approved by FDA contain basically cancer causing chemicals. Now, don't be shocked. A product meant to counteract cancer creates cancer itself. And now the FDA has been asked not only to recall it, but to change it. What it happens is that all these sunscreens contain benzene, and benzene is a well known carcinogenic product. This was done by a lab, very sure, it's an independent lab in Sweden. And they detected 300 products and found 27%, 78 products containing benzene. Now, 14 of these products contain benzene, 5%. The maximum level permitted under FDA rule is 2 parts per million, 2 ppm. But these are having 27%, so you can well imagine. And the presence of this well-known carcinogenic material ensures that you might be preventing skin cancer, but you're getting other cancers. Now, benzene is a very colorless, a light yellow liquid, which forms very naturally, but is also produced by the human activities. And CDC says that automobile emissions, burning of oil and coal, can release benzene in the air. So, on the one side, you are stopping the automobiles so that there's no benzene, and then you are asking people to use benzene laced sunscreens. And this high level of benzene causes blood cancer, including leukemia. So you are safe from the skin cancer, and as a byproduct, I said earlier, most of the products, medical products, have side effects. So you are safe from skin cancer and get a highly more dangerous cancer, leukemia. FDA says that benzene should not be used at all, and if it's unavoidable, it must be limited to 2 ppm, while here it is 27 ppm. Well, if that's something shocking and needs to be taken care of. And then comes a very interesting news. You know, when you're wounded, you start bleeding. And then slowly the bleeding stops because a blood clot is formed. So now FDA 2 days back cleared a new product, which is a regenerative solution which uses patient's own blood to spark the healing, such as diabetic people suffer, in foot ulcers. So what happens when the wound bleeds, the blood coagulates and forms a clot. This clot sends a biological signal, triggering a cascade of action to protect against infection. And many people have chronic non-traumatic injuries that never heal. So, Antigraph, a company in Israel, has made a unique wound care product. It's a blood clot that healthcare providers produce in just 12 minutes. What they take is they take the blood from the person who has been bleeding, and in 12 minutes the blood is mixed with a special reagent, and the result comes in the form of a blood clot. And this clot is applied on the wound. This newly created blood clot tricks the body basically into thinking that the chronic wound is a new wound and it starts healing. So the body is tricked into healing itself. No ointment except the patient's blood with a reagent applied on the wound, and you are much better. Organ donations are always required. Organs are required for transplants, whether they are heart, liver, spleen, kidneys. So, Tel Aviv Bellington Hospital has found a solution. They have developed a hybrid organ with both animal and human qualities. You see, organ rejection is an internal lining of the transplanted organ blood vessels. This coating serves as a point of contact. So now they have created an organ from a pig with human blood vessel, which is coated with human placenta cells. And those placenta cells make it more recognizable as friendly to the body. So the organ rejection does not take place. According to Dr. Cohen, the ideal organ connects two human beings and plays a key role in maintaining the connection between the mother and the fetus, that the placenta's role. So that is used in the hybrid match. And this has been tried in various organs, including heart and lungs, liver, kidney, and pancreas. And they say in the next 2 years, it will be available in the market. At present, according to U.S. Department of Health and Resources, 100,000 men and women are on national transplant waiting list. On an average, 17 people die every day waiting for an organ to come. So there is hope at the end of 2 years, light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe we have to wait for 2 years, but these organs would be absolutely acceptable, useful, and there will be no danger. And now, before we close up, very interestingly, we hear news that the India, especially, it happens, cows are dying because they have ingested plastic. Those plastic bags are thrown single use, causing just die. And now the scientists have uncovered that it's not possible. Cows cannot die from the plastic ingestion. What they have done is they have conducted the post-mortem of the cows. And they find that there are microbes in the stomach of the cows that can gobble up all plastic, including PET, which is used in soda water bottles, food packaging, and synthetic fibers. They have uncovered microbes in a liquid that was drawn from the rumen, the largest component of a cow's stomach. And the ruminants are there in every hoofed animal, cattle, sheep, buffaloes. And they rely on microbes to help break down their diet of coarse vegetation. Goats especially take very coarse vegetation. And this rumen acts as an incubator for these microbes which digest and ferment plastic. So that being so, to say that the cows have died from ingesting plastic is a mistaken notion. And all herbivorous diets which cows consume have a natural polyester produced by the plants called cutin. So they're eating plastic every day. So when the synthetic polyester touch the similar chemical structure, so if they are eating naturally, the chemical structure being the same, how can they die from ingesting plastic? So this is the news, and naturally it relieves the tension of some people, especially the co-lovers. Still, care is required, but it's definitely helping solve a conundrum that human beings were facing. And that's it for today. We meet again next week to discuss new frontiers of knowledge which are ever expanding. Thank you.